Welcome back to Running with Coach Tori.
And Jeff.
And we're bringing you the running news from the week, whether it's to entertain you on your long run or to give you something to talk about with your running group. We've got you covered. I realize we're always disparaging the running groups. So I don't know why that's even part of the intro. Because if you listen to the show, you can't be into your running group because we hate running groups.
Yeah, I don't know why I spread dislike for certain things. There's no reason. Like if people like running groups, love your running group. I'm just not a running group guy.
Not a running group guy. No. But anyway, I haven't run, I don't think, at all. It's been on the list. Hasn't happened. That new baby monitor, forgot to charge it. So I was going to run this morning. Didn't have it on. So another day.
Can't run then. Nope.
Can't run,
I have run. I did
How's
run.
running down in the heat?
Yeah, I'm in Florida, so it's much more conducive to running. So, I mean, it's 75 degrees to 80 degrees. It's perfect weather-wise. Yeah, it's amazing.
So nice.
So, no, it's incredible. So going out for a run is almost fun. Plus, I'm not feeling sick right now, so I'm just like we said last week, which was never put out, but when you when you feel sick, you appreciate when you don't feel sick.
For sure.
So I don't feel sick, so I am ready to go.
No, that's awesome. That is awesome. We still have to find a run to put on the books because that was the other thing we've read in all of our recent articles about improving your running was getting a race on the books. And that's, I think, our next.
Yeah, I don't know that I'll be
step,
back.
maybe.
I know we talked about maybe doing Chester County 5K, 10Ks, but I don't know when I'll be back. So I don't know if I'll get to one of those.
Fair. Right. Fair.
You got anything? Any stories you want to bring up?
There's only one left. No, I looked and I realized I have nothing from the week except for Barkley, but you're going to talk about it, I think.
Oh, I've got it on the list. I don't know if I'm going to talk about it or I'm going to kick it over to you to talk about. Should we start with just track and field? What's going on in track and field these days?
Yeah, because I saw from your articles too, and I thought it was another thing. And maybe I just with being sick, I've been on looking around for stuff as much. But apparently there was a lot of track and field, and I've seen none of it.
Yeah. There seems like they're gearing up to the U.S. indoor championships are at the end of this month, and the global, the world indoor championships are the end of next month. So I think there's a bunch of people that are trying to, that are in good shape and trying to set records. Sort of like what we saw last year with Grant Fisher doing it, Yard and Goose doing it. This year it's a few different people. But anyway, so one person who's been on fire is Cole Hocker. He was the reigning Olympic champion in the 1,500 meters and the reigning world champion in the 5,000. He just set an American record for the indoor mile, which you may recall Jared Nagu set the world record a year ago, and then Jakob Ingebrigtsen a week later broke that. Cole Hocker ran in between those two times. He ran a 3:45.94, which Jakob's world record is 3:45.14. So about a half a second off of the world record. Pretty good, though. Pretty good. Yeah. Cole's on fire. So we'll see how he does. In that same race, there was a 16-year-old. So I guess my theme today seems to be the young phenoms. So Sam Roth from New Zealand ran in the same race as Cole Hocker. Now he finished 6th or 7th, but he's a 16-year-old. He ran 3:52. All right, again, to compare to Cole Hocker's 3:45. But his personal best is 3:48. So only 3 seconds off the best in the world. So pretty impressive for a 16-year-old.
Yeah.
And that was at the ASICS Indoor Running Invite. In the same meet, Cooper Lufkenhaus, if you recall, last year came out of nowhere. He's a high schooler. I think he's now 17 years old. he runs the 800 meters, made the world championships, made the U.S. team, obviously, and he didn't win the world championships, but he was in the hunt. He ran a 144 at the A6 invite, which is a little bit off of the world record from Josh Hoey of 142, but he's again 144 in the hunt. Yeah. I know I like to cover world records. Seems to be a little bit of a controversy. Caleb McRae seemed to, like, in some place I saw reported, set the world record for indoors at 44:52, but then on other lists like Wikipedia, I see he's second. So there's a Canadian guy that ran half a second faster than that last year. So I don't know, but I'm sort of reporting it as a world record, but not on my official list because Wikipedia is my official list.
Well, there you go.
There you go.
That's the way to get news.
So that's all I had for that one. I mean, then there was the UK Indoor Championships. Keely Hodgkinson, 800 meter specialist. I think she's the reigning Olympic champion in that. She ran a 156. World record's 155. So I think she's run the third fastest time of all time indoors. So pretty impressive. But it also gives you perspective on where we are with Femke Bol.
Right.
She ran a 159. So, yeah, 3 seconds is still a lot. She's not even on the top 25 list yet for time. So we'll see. We'll see how it progresses. That's the two track and field ones I had. I guess there was one more, which was, Ellie St. Pierre. You hear her name every now and then, but she's in with that group of a bunch of women that run 1,500 meters. Nikki Hiltz and others that all have, impressive times at various times. But at the Boston University Valentine Invitational, she ran when they do the mile, it was a mile race. You cross a 1,500 meter barrier in the mile race because that's 1609, I think, meters. Anyway, so you end up timing both. So you can set the world record in the 1,500 and in the mile in the same race. But she did set an American record for the 1,500, but slowed down between the end of the 1,500 and the 1 mile and didn't set the American record for that. She actually has the American record already. So,
did she just have another baby recently, or am I?
You are spot on. Yeah, I think she had one like 9 months ago. So when we talk about Sydney McLaughlin, I just saw an interview with her too, by the way.
Yeah.
And I will say that I find Sydney a little bit, maybe the knock on her, is she boring?
Oh, I think that's like always been like the thing, right? Like she's, it's kind of like always.
I don't even know what makes someone boring.
But she's focused.
Yeah, I don't know what makes someone boring or not boring. But I was listening to a podcast. I'm like, wow, I don't know, man. Like halfway through, I'm like, I just, it just doesn't do a lot for me. Maybe it's her energy that she brings to it. She's so calm that it's like, maybe she doesn't make it sound exciting when she's talking about things. I don't know what it is, but yeah, I found the interview a little bit boring. And she's a phenomenal athlete and amazing. So anyway, she's pregnant, as we reported previously, which is the link in to Ellie St. Pierre's performance.
Yeah, no, she's great. And I think it's a hard balance to be like focused, have your head down, and just be like a level-headed person. And not come off like a little boring because like, where is the excitement coming from? If she's like super cocky and like kind of like smack talky, or just like I'm the best, like it's just like a different personality too. Or if she's got like lots of life experience outside of track, and then it's like, okay, so she's not super focused but has other things to talk about. It's kind of hard, right?
Yeah, no, that's probably what it is.
Not be boring and be amazing.
She is just a really calm person, which probably, you're right, makes her very effective at what she does. It's her personality. There's obviously all kinds of personality. Noah Lyles, the complete opposite, right? It's
the worst.
Flamboyant, probably doesn't do any boring interviews. Probably thinks a lot about his interviews and how he's going to be. He thinks a lot about the other aspects, and that maybe makes him focused and great, right? He does. We talked about him a few weeks ago where he did this weird introduction when the camera couldn't find him on the track, and he's in the stands, pulls off his sweatpants and runs onto the track right out of WWE type concept.
Yeah.
Where Sydney, I'm sure, spends zero energy thinking about those types of things. So
Yeah, as you should. I mean, honestly, yeah, it's such a hard thing. Because yeah, like we want to be entertained, but also like I want to see someone run really well. And so if it takes to just be focused and not be like, a whole spectacle,
yeah,
it's tough.
yeah, and unfortunately, as we talked about before, this sport needs more spectacles.
Yeah.
Yeah, so she's a great ambassador for the sport, but more probably not the most entertaining ambassador for the sport. Yeah.
Agreed.
All right. You mentioned Barkley Marathon. For anyone who doesn't know, you want to give the background on what Barkley Marathon is? I mean, you might know it better than I do.
Well, there are a couple good documentaries, and I have no idea what they're called or where they are, but Google
Yeah.
them. I know there's one actually, the Barkley Marathon, what is it, the race that eats its young or
Yep.
whatever. Close
I think
enough.
that's right.
Um, so it was oh my gosh, is it in Tennessee? Is
You're
that where
right.
it
It
is?
is in Tennessee. It's in a park in Tennessee.
Yeah, so park, it like started on Laz's land, maybe not even, I don't know, but runs all through a park in Tennessee. It's kind of just like the most like underground of races, of ultra races that you can find, right? Like there's no real like application system. You have to eventually write like an essay if you're I think invited to be a part of it. The entry fee is what's like
Yep.
$1 and then like a license plate from your home state or country. So yes, it's just kind of like there's just a whole lot of lore around it, but it is super brutal. I think most people say it is the toughest race out there. It varies every year, so the course is different every year. To know that people are on course, they are assigned a page number in a book, and there's books like hidden around the course. You have to keep ripping out your page number for each checkpoint, basically, to prove that you were in the right spot. Um, and then yeah, it's 5 loops around. It's supposed to be 100 miles, but I think it's never actually that. It's usually more. Sorry, you put me on the spot
No,
now. I'm
no,
like, I have all my
that was
Barkley facts,
amazing.
like, bam, bam, bam.
If you'd asked me all that, I just read a little bit more about it, so I did know all that. But right, yeah, like the 20-mile loop is key, and you're right. Maybe that's on a perfect, if you ran a perfect path, but there's no set path for this stuff. It's in a park, and it's in the wilderness. It's got a massive amount of elevation, so it's there are many years. There's not a whole lot of runners in it, right? There may be 40 runners in this event each year. In the 40-year history of it, there's only been 20 finishers. And so this year there were 0 finishers. Last year there were 0 finishers. And by the way, finishers meaning they people finish like loop 1, loop 2, loop 3. I think this year someone even started loop 4 but didn't finish it in time. There are time cutoffs for each loop to start the next one. So if you don't make the time cutoff, you get just basically your race is over. And so no one started the 5th loop, 5th and final loop.
So was it 2 years ago that there was like the first female finisher? That was 2
That was
years
2
ago?
years ago. Yeah, 2024. I think there were 5 total finishers, 1 woman, and so yeah. So I think he's made the course harder. And this whole thing about the book, by the way, you mentioned it. That is, I see that all the time. I'm like, how? It's in the wilderness to some degree. I mean, it can't be a hidden book, right? How many people would never find the book? I mean, I keep seeing that written too, like it's hidden. It's like, no, it can't be. You can hide a book anywhere, and people would never find it.
Yeah, I don't know like how hidden is hidden. It's not like Survivor, they're like digging for the immunity idols, right? But
I mean, it's got to be
I
prominently
think when we
displayed, I
watched
would think.
yeah, I mean, like when I watched the documentary, I'm trying to think back, like it would be like against a tree stump or something. But like it's not like there's no like flag from what I've seen that's like, hey, the book is over here. Like you have to know that like, okay, this is the tree stump where the book is gonna be. Otherwise. you're
Yeah,
toast, I
yeah, yeah.
guess.
They must. Yeah, there must be a little bit because I guess you only have a compass and a map to sort of navigate with. So maybe again, everything like you said, it's sort of like it's a little bit of a secret. Like even the results this year, I saw like a couple articles saying like there were no finishers and a little bit about it, but I didn't see like a list of here's the 60, 50, the 40 people that were entered. Here's what their times were or anything. I didn't see sort of a great list of.
Yeah, like, I don't think press is invited, like, I don't think it's any yeah, it's, like, very much supposed to be, like, small I mean, even, like, the start of the race, like, you kinda don't really know when that's gonna happen. That's, like, another thing about it, right? Like, everyone shows up at the place they're supposed to be and, like, set up their camp, and then he blows, like,
Conch.
what is it, the conch shell or
Yeah,
whatever,
and smokes a
and then it's
cigarette,
gonna
I
give an
think. Yeah.
hour. Right, right. And it's gonna give an hour until the start, and then everyone kinda just, like, meanders around by the yellow gate thing until it's time to go. It's like a very yeah, it's just, like, a very strange thing, and I think it's just, like, one of those things that ultra runner people can appreciate it for what it is, and, like, outside people can just be like, "What a crazy thing," you know?
Yeah, no, it's bizarre. Yeah, it has become this thing where it's relatively famous as one of the most difficult, and it's it's Barkley Marathon, but obviously, as you mentioned, it's an ultra. It's 100 miles. It's a 20-mile loop 5 times. So, um, and by the way, you may recall a year ago, David Goggins announced that he was.
That just popped into my head, I was like, "Hold
Hold on,
on."
David Goggins announced that he was going to conquer this Barkley Marathon after there were zero finishes last year. I think it was like on April 1st last year. Now, I didn't see him listed as running it this year. I've seen zero social media about him running it this year. He didn't run it this year. Um, and I don't know whether he's been injured, not injured. I did see some stories that, well, one, Reddit was talking about David Goggins being there, but was he there, not there? Um, People were wondering
Hmm.
because of his announcement a year ago. But I think it's pretty clear he was not there. Um, and then that post that he put out a year ago had been pulled at some point in time. And there again, there was also rumors that it was sort of an April Fool's joke because it was on April 1st last year. So anyway, big fan of David Goggins. I haven't seen anything about him recently. I mean, he hasn't really been racing or in the news as far as I could see.
No, I think the last thing we reported on was he had to DNF that, like, across Florida
Oh, yeah, that's right.
race that he had previously won or whatever. He has the fastest known time. Um, so yeah, that was the last we heard, and that was months ago. So maybe he is injured, or maybe it's really like it's all catching up at this point. He doesn't give me the energy of an April Fool's joke kind of guy, though.
He's a
I don't know.
serious
It doesn't
dude.
seem like his personality. It's like who does April Fool's jokes? I don't know what those kinds of people are, but it doesn't feel like he's one of
Nah,
them.
I agree with you. I don't put him into the April Fool's category.
Yeah,
By the way, anyone who wants
yeah,
to
not his
read
favorite.
a great, inspiring book about a guy who changed his life, that's the guy. You read a couple of his books. He's got 2 or 3 books that he's written, and inspiring. He is maybe one of the most motivated men on the planet.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I have not read any of his books, but
I did a bunch of book
I
reviews,
don't
as you
think
recall.
I know. Yes, and the one that I read, that one that was like about him, kind of by
Jesse Itzler.
who's that
Yeah,
guy that like yeah, was he own the Knicks or something? I
I don't know who
forget.
he is. Yeah, he's a dude who was able to hire Goggins for a month to train him. Yeah,
Yeah.
and then wrote a book about his experience of Goggins basically coming in and ruling his life for 1 month.
Yeah, what was, like, the end of that? Like, was he got good at running? I gotta like, what was the end goal? I
I
don't
don't know what the
remember.
end goal was. He was in better shape. I mean, like Goggins, I don't know, like every day
Yeah.
was different. It was like sort of like today we're doing just pull ups. Like we're gonna do like I don't know 1,000 pull ups, some ridiculous number. So if you can do like 3 unbroken, go do your 3, and then we'll wait 5 minutes, and then do 3 more, and then 3 more, and then 3 more, and then just on and on and on. I can't imagine how
You
sore, like even if you're in relatively good shape, if you start doing an exercise that you're not typically doing, and then you just do a massive amount of them. Like the next day, you cannot even move your arms.
Yeah, horrible.
Oh man.
Next time we come to Florida, we should do I think this is a Goggins thing, the 4x4x48.
I
Is
do
that his thing?
vaguely recall that. Like, what was that one?
I think it's 4 miles every 4 hours for 48 hours? I have to look it up again. I think that's like a thing that he does though.
4 miles. What is it again?
I think it's 4 miles every 4 hours for 48 hours.
Okay.
Let me look it up.
Now you look that up, and I'll start with the last one I had, which is I titled "Keeping the Faith." Faith Kipyegon. And anyone doesn't know who Faith Kipyegon is, she is a Kenyan runner, phenomenal Olympic champion, primarily known for her 1500 meters / 1 mile time. She was the star of the Nike project Breaking Four, trying to get a woman to break the 4 minute mile. She didn't succeed at breaking the 4 minute mile, but she does hold the world record in the 4 minute mile at 4:07. So anyway, she is now transitioning to the 10K. She ran a 10K this past week, ran a 29:46. I didn't do the math to see what that is time wise, but it's very good. It's the 14th fastest 10K road race in history. So, you know, uh, sort of like everyone's just doing something a little bit different. We got Sydney McLaughlin doing the 400 meters. We got Fem Cabal doing the 800 meters, that which is not their traditional events. Now we have Faith Kipyegon, transition to maybe a longer race. And that seems to be more typical, I think. You start to see track athletes. I mean, I think even Eliud Kipchoge, right? I mean, the best marathoner of all time was a track athlete in the day, an Olympic track athlete, if I'm not mistaken, maybe 10,000 meters, and he transitioned up to the marathon. So, Faith is now transitioning, it looks like, to maybe a longer type event, from the 1500 to maybe up to the 10,000.
Now, do you think we're gonna see her like make a full shift, or is this just like a one and done for now? She'll go back to doing the 15 or whatever for the rest of the season.
Yeah, I still think she's the best in the world, the 1500. So I still think when you get to, I mean, it's an off year, right? So there's indoor world championships, which I don't know that Faith or any other major Kenyan athletes tend to run those very often, or at least not a large part of them. And since there's no outdoor world championships, I don't know what she's going to do this year, but she's still the best in the world in the 1500, and she's not the best in the world in the 10K. So I do think she'll continue to run her specialty, the 1500, the 1 mile. Like she's done the 5,000 a few times too, but she's just not the best in the world. She's maybe second or third best in that. So to answer your question, yeah, I think we'll still see her in the 1500, but I think longer term, I think it's just more conducive as your speed slows down, as you get a little bit older. You still have the fitness to be the best 10,000 meter racer.
So now do you think she's ever going to do another Breaking Four type thing, or you think that idea is done until there's another phenomenal runner?
Yeah, I'm going to say because the gap is still so great between the 4 minute mile and the world record of 4:07. So I don't know if that was viewed as a success. Like, unlike Eliud Kipchoge in the Breaking 2 marathon time, he came so close with the Nike project that when he did it with Ineos, I think 2 years later, and he was able to break the 2 hour barrier. I don't know that Faith is going to be in a position ever to break the 4 minute barrier in the mile. So I just don't see her being the one that's going to be doing these sort of, I don't know, niche, made for marketing type events in the future.
Yeah.
It'll be someone else. Someone else will be the woman who breaks that 4 minute barrier.
But probably like no one we know right now, because the next fastest is like 4:12. No, it's like
it's not even
close.
Yeah, she is by far the best. And I think you're right. It's like, yeah, 4:11, 4:12 was the next fastest time. I can look it
Crazy.
up real quick, but as you know, I'm not that proficient in searching Wikipedia.
What Wikipedia is your domain?
It is. I'm just not fast at it. I've got the 800 meter actually listing up here, um, and I'm sure I can then search the 1500 meter, but that means I can't talk
Um,
and do that.
that's okay. I'm Googling it. So I was right. The 4x4x48 is 4 miles every 4 hours for 48 hours. It is a Goggins thing. And it started apparently during COVID, which I didn't know.
Yeah, I would think
I guess
that's doable, right? That seems
yeah, I mean,
doable.
I think people do it all the time. Like, it's one of those things that, like, after he did it, lots of people started doing it. I haven't seen people talking about it in a long time, but I feel like 2 years ago, people were always just like, "I wanna do the 4x4x48," like, been posting it on social media. You know what I mean?
By the way, I do have the times up here. So let's see.
4:11:88.
Okay, there you go. You see, you were always spot on. You said 4:11, and you were spot on.
I think I said 4:12, but that was the last world record was 4:12.
Yeah. Which what does wasn't that like Safan Hassan? Wasn't she one of the ones that had the?
So she did, yep. Because it had for a while from 1996, it was Svetlana Masterkova from Russia, who probably doesn't even have that record anymore because of doping, I'm sure. Um, then it was Safan Hassan, July 12th of 2019, and then Sergey ran. It doesn't have the date, but in July 2023, ran a 4:11. Faith ran a 4:07, July 21st, 2023. So that might have been the same race.
Oh, okay. And by the way,
The
I was
4:11
actually
and the
looking.
4:07.
Speaking of lists, so I was looking at the men's 400 meters. Like I mentioned, this guy set what I thought was a world record, but then wasn't a world record. And then when I was looking
Yeah,
at the list, you know who's number 11 in the world of all time in the 400 meters? You won't guess this.
in the open
Open
four.
four. One of the 11th fastest time of all time.
I was gonna say Usain Bolt, but I don't think he ever ran open four.
Yeah, that would be a good guess. It is a guy that was is more known for 100 meters than he is for 400 meters. He's also
Ew,
known
is it
for
Noah
his what's
Lyles?
that?
I said, ew, is it Noah
No, it
Lyles?
is not Noah Lyles. It's a guy that's been in the police blotter for us in the past.
Kenny? No, not Kenny. I mean,
Yes, you are on the right track. Not Kenny Bednarik, because he's not in the police blotter that I know of. Fred Curley.
right, I hope not.
He ran a 43.64. I did not know that.
No, I didn't know that either.
Yeah.
I wonder if he'll run the 400 in the enhanced
Yeah, no, he
games.
ran that. Yeah, maybe. He ran it in 2019. So I mean,
Hmm.
yeah. So, I mean, he was one of the best, clearly one of the best in the world, 11th all time. And by the way, I mean, that's the 11th fastest time. There's only probably 6 guys ahead of him because obviously it's the fastest time. So like Michael Johnson has, 3 of them. Norman has like 4 or 5 of them. So he is probably the 4th or 5th or 6th fastest guy of all time.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
So by the way,
Who knew?
we have no police blotter update this week. I didn't see anyone in the news for being arrested that's from track and field. So it was a quiet week on the police front.
Well, that's
Yeah.
good. Let's see. Anything else?
No, so should we try the 4x4x48? Now, if you were going to do it, well, how would you do it? How would you attack it? Would you do a mile every hour?
Um,
Would you do 4 miles and take 3 hours off?
uh, maybe I would, because now I'm like trying to
Do you
think.
have to,
Like
do you have to run the
in
do you have to
Fantasyland,
run 4 consecutive miles? Like, is that what you're supposed to do?
I don't think so. I think it just says it has to be within that time frame.
All right, you have
So
to run 4 miles
no, it doesn't
within
seem.
the 4-hour window.
Yeah. So I mean, parent life aside, right, where I could actually just do whatever I wanted, I feel like honestly, maybe during the day, and this might be cheating to just already plan to walk, but like during the daytime, the waking hours, maybe I do a couple where I run like the 4 miles, like all at once, and then take a break and do like lunch, relax, whatever. But then I feel like there's other times where I could just do like walk a mile every hour,
Yeah.
and, you know,
Yeah.
take a little bit of a break, and then overnight try to get back on like or even like run at the beginning of the window, do your 4, then, like, sleep for 5 or 6, wake back up, run your 4, you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah, because that's I mean the hard part's the middle of the night, right? It's like, man, you got to sleep, you got to get your 4 miles in. So let's just say that's going to take you an hour to get your 4 miles in between getting ready, getting on the treadmill, or going out for the run, and then you're only going to have a 3 hour window to sleep, I suppose, unless you like. I guess you No, I mean, I guess you can sleep for like 5 or 6 hours, right? Because you'll have the remaining 3 hours of that one window, and you could take a couple hours of the next window, but then you got to get up and get those 4 miles in. When you talk about running 48 miles, right? That the math works out to be 48 miles over that 48-hour period, 2 days. I mean, not
Yeah,
crazy if you're in marathon shape, but that's still a lot of miles on the legs and on the hips and knees and body for
for
that two
sure.
day window. I'm sure I wouldn't love it.
Yeah, no, it definitely would take some training, I think, to get up to that. Because like, now that I'm thinking too, because 'cause I'm like, "Okay, I ran that other thing we did, the was it the 12-hour thing?" Like, not very trained either, but I'm like, I there wasn't enough downtime that I started to, like, get so stiff, so sore, so hurt, but I'm like, if I'm not trained and then you take, like, what, 3 hours to lay down, if you get back up and you're like, "Oh my gosh, my knees, I, like, can't even move." Yeah, that's not gonna be great,
Yeah, and I remember how much. I
actually.
mean, that 12-hour run thing we did, that was sort of like a relay type thing. It I was hurting at the end. I mean, so that's only 12 hours, and wow, we did get probably half the number of miles. We probably had 20, we had more than 26 miles each. So
It was, like, 30 each, I
yeah,
think, almost.
so we're pretty much there, but I mean, you still got eight. I don't know. I definitely could not have run 18 miles over the next, or whatever that would have been, another, 16 miles over the next um, 20 hours. So I don't know. It definitely would be rough on the body.
For
Yeah.
sure,
Well, that's all I've got on
for
news, by
sure.
the way. So just in case you thought I was going to bring another story up, I got nothing else on news.
Nothing on the news. No, that was a lot of actual news
Yeah,
today.
a lot of
It's
track and
good
field stuff, as
stuff.
you said. Like it's weird. It's the indoor season. There seems to be a lot of stuff. I don't know whether it'd be a quiet. I feel like it is to be a quiet week next week, only because the U.S. championships are sometime the following week, I believe. So it may be that it might be a quiet week next week.
Yeah, so I know that, like, Jakob's out because we talked about his surgery. Where's Yard and a Goose? We talked about him all the time last year, and now
Yeah, I saw him in a few
is
races.
he hurt
He
too?
he was in a few of these races in like this Boston Invitational and these other ones. He was finishing
Yeah.
like second or third though. Um, so he's not in.
Hmm,
I don't know whether he's not in the kind of fitness or if other people have stepped it up. Like he's just not setting world records. So he's been in a few of these races. I have seen him. I did see the commentator said that he would have been really sick the week before or 2 weeks before. So it may just be that he'd gotten some kind of virus, COVID, whatever it is, and that took him out of
hmm.
being in the kind of condition to be in world record pace. He certainly was in the pack, but not in the top one or two. Yeah.
Interesting. Okay, and then did we ever find out why Grant Fisher scratched from it was, like, a week or 2 ago?
No. Yeah, I didn't see
Hmm,
anything on any stories about him. Oh, by the way, Grand Slam track. I did see that the bankruptcy filing. I know we've talked about it a few times, but I think the actual filing occurred this past week, so sometime in the last several days. So the proposal right now is the athletes will get 85% of the money that they were owed. So if that gets approved, the athletes will be made whole. Now the other creditors, they're only going to get like 2% of what they were owed. So the ones that are getting screwed.
So now,
What's that?
yeah, so this brings me back to the comparison I made forever ago of it being like Fire Festival and how that was like such a complete mess. But I think the people, and like this is kind of how like this is shaking out a little bit. Not that, I mean, that, sorry, let me bring it back. Fire Festival, I don't think actually ever had like talent that they had to pay because I don't think he ever secured that. So like that's aside. But I think one of the big issues is that he never paid the people who were like doing the housing, doing the food, which again was also like a complete disaster and it didn't, like it wasn't what people said it was going to be. But there's like a lot of people still on whatever island he had made that at that are like unpaid from what he's doing. And it kind of sounds like this is how this is shaking out also, is like we're not paying the commentators, we're not paying the people who, I don't know, the security teams for the place or what, you know, like the people who ran the venues. Like, yikes, I get it. Like, we want the athletes to be paid, but it's just like, okay, those people are also doing their job. Like, can you imagine going to work and being like, sorry, only the important, famous people are going to get paid today. You're not that important. Like,
Yeah,
it's,
I
I
don't
don't
know
know. It
what the
sucks.
logic is that the athletes, I mean, obviously they're a big piece of the product, but you don't have a product if you don't have a venue, if you don't have concession stands. I don't know why they, I, so there's there's three different creditor groups, right? It's the athletes, there are some secured creditors, a small piece, and then there's just the general creditors, which are the vendors, the venues, those types of things. Um, and so I don't know why in each class has to vote for or against approval of this bankruptcy plan. Now, it may be that the investors and vendors, maybe they're bigger corporations and they're going to be more satisfied getting 2% because if they don't approve it, they're going to get nothing. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. We'll continue to give you an update. We'll continue to give you spotty updates on Grand Slam track.
Yeah, it's still so crazy. I do not want to see a 2026. I want someone else to do something else. At this
They're still
point,
talking
I
about
just,
2026 doing some races. I don't understand why you wouldn't just start a whole new Grand Prix and not call it Grand Slam track and just get get away from Grand. It's got such a bad reputation now. I don't know how you would ever do it.
like, I wonder if he's able to sell his idea, right? Like, and then that is how we recoup the money too. Like, I don't know if he ever like patented it or whatever you would do with like an idea like that, but if he's able to just be like, okay, you take the concept of this, like you said, change the name because no one wants to be, there's no slams, this is bad. Yeah, take that concept and then they'll be like, yep, we're gonna buy it for whatever it is, like 4 million or whatever they still owe. And then, you know what I
No, I do
mean?
know what you mean. Yeah, yeah. Sorry, I do exactly know exactly what you mean. I don't know that he ever copyrighted it or patented it in any way. And I also don't know that even if he did, that you couldn't subtly change it enough because it wasn't such like a unique idea that you couldn't just say, well, we're not going to call these slams. We're going to do you do three events that are similar, not two. This is totally different. This is three events. I don't know. I feel like you could certainly come up with the same concept, similar concepts, and not violate any kind of copyright.
Yeah.
There's so many different track meets out
I guess
there that dude, this isn't so crazy. Other than paying the athletes way more than they would have gotten otherwise.
Well, I was just about to say, I was like, but then how do they do it and have it not turn out the same? Because I don't think it was a bad idea, bad concept. Like he did it in good places. So yeah, I guess the problem is it's just, oh, I guess he had investors that pulled out,
Yeah, I
right?
think that's what happened. So I think he thought he had $30 million of committed funding initially, but I mean, obviously he knew that it wasn't fully committed, and the investors pulled out after the Jamaica event, which was the first one, because the stands were empty. It just kind of proved that the
Yeah.
concept was not, whether you didn't do a great job marketing it, getting tickets out there, whatever you did, you didn't do a good enough job to create a product that people went to, that then would have been a product that maybe people would have put on TV. Because that's really, I guess, where the money is. You can't sell enough tickets at a 5,000 seat stadium to support a $30 million budget for the year.
Yeah, no, that's true. Hmm. Well, hopefully they workshop it. Somebody can figure out something
You
different,
do it. You
bring
do it.
something fun.
You.
Yeah, I'm not like the business idea person, clearly. Doesn't feel like my forte. And I also don't have the 2.2 million to throw out there when my idea fails like Michael Johnson did. Um, but yeah, sounds like a fun idea. I would go and watch again. All right, well, that's all we got. Let us know if there's any other fun running challenges that are slightly less commitment worthy that we could do between now and the time we're trained up enough to do the 4x4x48. Yeah, I'm not really huge into running challenges, but sounds fun. Jeff and I need a little inspiration since we don't have any races on the books. So subscribe, share it.